when they saw that the singular condition was that my mom established trust, meaning that like we can trust each other now. We start talking and we can trust each other. They just threw up their hands. My dad just threw up his hands and said, "Oh, I guess there's just no hope for you getting mental health treatment. I guess you're just gonna, get by as you get by because your mom is she is who you describe her as, and it's not worth it to her."
What would it take for her to establish trust with you and in your eyes? I mean, how would...
Oh, if Morgan ever returns to me, then my mom will get another chance. Yeah, I mean, then I'll start. Then it, but you gotta the total obliteration of trust by my mother. That is just in my married life. That's 18 years into my married life, but go back before married life. I mean, I've still got my mom, and so my mom's still my mom doing all the things she does. It's not like I first learned I have to be aware of my, mother's risks of things my mother could do when I'm marrying Morgan.
So, I mean, is there something specific you had in mind that she would have to do to regain your trust?
Just agree that we can trust each other. Just start dialogue, and I mean, one thing was like, how about how would we establish trust? What about my wife that says starts out the conversation like, well, how would I do that? That would be a great start to the conversation. The conversation's not going to start. That was never going to happen. That's why I came home with the risperidone thinking like I could probably benefit from taking these, and luckily I'm going to get a call from my dad. My dad's going to say my mom's going to establish trust, and then I'll have to start taking them, and then my mom might want me to do other things, and I'm going to do them because I agreed to do it. But no, my mother, that was checkmate for my mother. She wasn't going to establish trust.
So was there any communication with her? Or?
No, but there's just been communication with my dad.
Okay. Well, at this time, so you still have the full prescription for the risperidone?
Yeah, I've got a full pill bottle. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's something that could be beneficial, and it's something you'd have to want to take for your own well-being. It's something that shouldn't really depend on your relationship with someone else. Like,
oh, totally. I thought that it would just help. I thought that it would that I could just count on it assisting some way and not messing with my sleep. And so I thought, like, I bet I wouldn't be surprised if this would benefit me, but I'll see if I have to take it.
Well, I despite what's going on, despite the family dynamics, it's still something that could potentially be, the drug itself, it could be beneficial to you, despite what's going on. Yeah,
I'm gonna hold on to it.
Socially with family. Yeah. So at this time, maybe good to consider, giving that a try as we discussed last time, and it sounds like both. Yeah, it sounds like Kate, at least. I've talked to her directly, with your approval, and it sounds like she's, concerned and wanting to, to look into some sort of, type of therapy, whether that be talk therapy, medication therapy.
Right. Okay. So, like, the issue is that Kate wants to help. Okay, so she comes out. She says she's gonna come out here. I say, oh boy, that could go really, really bad if you don't have your head on your shoulders. Okay, so she right off the bat finds that she can't work with Morgan much. Morgan doesn't want to spend time with her. Morgan wants to clarify what the problems are, and that I need treatment, I need pills, I'm autistic, etc. And so Kate just doesn't have any luck working with Morgan, and so she chooses to work with me. But here's the thing: is like I'll go to the ends of the earth to work with my wife. I'll go to the ends of the earth to work with a counselor to help me work with my wife. I'll go to the ends of the earth to work with my family, work with my wife. I will do anything. I will trade. I mean, I'm all about dealing with, working with, transacting if necessary, give and take, exchange, resolutions, trust. If you ask Paisley will just say that like every single time I come in to our, when we had couples counseling, that's the most important 2 hours of my week. And I just want to be better off when I leave. I want tangible benefits.
Well, yeah, I mean, well, regarding, individual, tangible benefits, I mean, what's kind of in our control now? I mean, I still would recommend, giving the medication a try, looking into an IOP. I mean, if you're, interested in, non-medication treatment options. So I definitely recommend looking into that. And I was wondering, did we talk about like resources for, looking at IOPs previously? Like, have you looked into psychologytoday.com?
Oh, no. Mm-mm. Well, what about, I mean, I've got a question. Because, like, just imagine that that if I had a spouse and the spouse had bipolar, but the spouse isn't going to tell people about bipolar because it's stigmatized as they see it. And so they're going to suffer to the extent they do and then try to make up for what happens and then escape any negative consequences that came of bipolar. So that just puts me in a unique place. I feel like I must be in. I mean, if that was still the rotation, then I'd be synced right up with so many other people who are partnered up with someone with bipolar. And I imagine that bipolar has just a vast spectrum of ways that it is expressed.
Well, I mean, you never know. You may run into people who have similar similar situations, similar social situations or social dynamics. I mean, I guess you don't really know until you try. And I mean, so I mean, I think that maybe worthwhile to look into into that type of program, like the group program. Psychologytoday.com is a good resource.
Great.
They have IOPs, they have individual therapists, and I could make sure you have that information sent over through the portal. But so I recommend looking into that. And if you don't mind, well, regarding Kate, I mean, would you like me to touch base with her, or would you like me to
Oh yeah. So Kate is on board with me, understanding that I'm in this very unique risk, or at least I have been in this very unique risk, where me being someone who's very close to Morgan, who's been turned away from, that I will become irredeemably bad, and I run the risk of having a staph and becoming over the top, violent, knives and broken glass bottles kind of a thing. So let's just say if there's going to be a case with divorce proceedings, then I would go right back to the first incident where Morgan calls the police on me, and the second incident where Morgan calls the police on me. I've always wanted for those incidences to be brought to light so that they can be seen for what they are, so that Morgan can't. I can't be. When you see them in light of day, I can't be portrayed as a threat. I can't be seen as a threat. Obviously, I'm being identified as a threat if someone's calling the police on me.